Welcome to another Saturday Night Horror Review. This is JBM from Mr. Creepshow 9, and it's playtime. Demonic Toys. This is my first time I've ever seen any of these films. The first one came out in 1992. This is what I'm reviewing. David S. Goyer actually wrote the script. He's the writer who went on to do the Blade trilogy and then work with Christopher Nolan in the Dark Knight trilogy. And now he's doing the Superman films and writing the Justice League films for Warner Brothers. So this was earlier on in his career when he was still in his 20s, and he actually grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, the same area where I grew up. And I remember he did Kickboxer 2 in this area the year before this, in 1991. He did a Kickboxer 2, which is actually a pretty decent film. I kind of like his early 90s films. And, so let's get into it. They actually... So this is from Full Moon Entertainment. Full Moon Features, actually, from Charles Band, who's done a number of schlock cinema films, including Parasite, The Alchemist, and producing the Puppet Master franchise, which is what both of those franchises would merge, Demonic Toys and Puppet Master. Demonic Toys even actually got its own mini comic book series in 1994. And I have to say, I went into this with an open mind, expecting it to be bad, but it was fairly decent, and the plot actually had some sophistication to it. Alright, let's kind of get into the characters and how it starts off and the premise and everything and how these toys become so evil. So, the opening scene has this couple. They're bickering about living together, and then the woman tells the guy that she's pregnant. And it's all kind of sketchy, and it's all because it's in a dark alley behind this building, and you're like, what's going on here? In this parking lot. And they're actually there for an arms deal, and they're undercover. And her partner is actually her lover too. He ends up getting shot and killed. And Tracy Scoggins, who for the most part she's a babe in this, and then she kind of becomes ripped out and manly in the second half. I don't know what that was about. So it's kind of has like, it follows like the Child's Play formula. They chase these criminals who run right into the factory. It takes place in two settings: the back parking lot of the factory and the factory itself. So she chases them in there. It's two guys. One ends up getting shot and bloodied, and he ends up crawling into this circle that's like illuminated, and once his blood drops and spews on the toys and everything, we learn that this demon spirit, who's been dormant for 66 years in that spot, kind of orchestrated this whole thing to get them there, and so he could be resurrected in human form. That's like his whole goal in life, is for that to be done. So he orchestrates the whole thing, and these toys are pretty awesome, including the baby doll one. Oh, what's her name? Oopsy Daisy. Baby Oopsy Daisy. She has some good, clever one-liners. Apparently they turned that baby into a male in the other sequels. So, furthermore, we go on. It goes on a killing spree. You know, you get the characters, and this one character who's like a delivery boy. He's like a bad boy to start, then he kind of turns into a weasel, and he starts whining the whole movie. I don't get why they did a reversal of character with that. But Jack Attack is the evil Jack in the Box. He's got no arms. He kind of attacks him. He dies halfway through it, and he's probably the most recognizable and prominent character from this franchise. And there's the teddy bear and the robot who shoots lasers. Like I said, Baby Oopsy Daisy had to be my favorite. So, yada yada yada, as the Myers fan 25 would say. They go on a killing spree, and there's also this homeless girl who ends up in the ventilation shaft, and she's like, ooh, they're evil, I'll tell you what's going on, they're so evil. And then she dies like a short little while later. Yeah, we end up learning that the woman, the chick cop, Tracy Scoggins, the main character in this, her baby is supposed to be him spawning through her in life form. And this demon is played through like the form of he manifests himself as a child. He could manifest himself as anyone, but he chose a child because his destiny is to come into this world in child form. I don't really like how they represent a kid in a serious role like this. No one really ever does. You can never really take it seriously. They do a voiceover with him, so it's like a deep, dark voice, but the kid acting. It's kind of like that Ridley Scott Exodus, the Gods and Kings that just came out. They did that with God. They portrayed him as a kid in that, and I didn't really like that take on the Bible story. So, not to overanalyze everything here, obviously she comes triumphant and they banish the demon, but it's definitely worth a watch if you get a chance. You could find it on like double featured discs and everything, including Full Moon once released this, all 9 films they have 3 of Demonic Toys, 3 of the Ginger Dead Man, and 3 of Killjoy, all on one disc. If you run into that, you can get that for about $10. So that's how I got it, and I watched this one. Maybe I'll be intrigued enough to watch Demonic Toys 2, which is the actual direct sequel, which didn't even come out until 2010, if you believe that, because they made the crossovers with the other Full Moon Company characters. Like I said, Puppet Master characters. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tune in next week. Request a movie for me to watch if it's readily available to me. I'll try and watch it and review it in the future on another Saturday Night Horror Review. I appreciate all your views and your feedback. And thank you. It's going to be a good October. Stay tuned. I'm out.